This is One Seaport, also known as 161 Maiden Lane. It's a massive 60-story building located on Manhattan's eastern waterfront. At first glance, it might seem like just another construction project downtown, but take a closer look, and you'll see something surprising. It's leaning 8 centimeters to the north. You might wonder, why does a little lean matter? Well, it's causing big problems. This lean has put a stop to construction and left the skyscraper empty, even before it's finished. Nobody involved wants to take responsibility for the mistake. So, what made this building lean? And is there any hope of making it straight again? Let's find out. In New York City, real estate is famously pricey and fiercely competitive. And when you are talking about properties near parks or waterfronts, the prices and status climb even higher. That's where 161 Maiden Lane was meant to shine, situated by the East River in downtown Manhattan. This 204-meter tower aimed to claim the title of tallest residential skyscraper along the eastern waterfront, boasting apartments priced from $1 million to $7 million. But despite the high hopes, the journey for this skyscraper has been marked by setbacks and mishaps. Construction on the project started in 2015, but just when things seemed to be moving forward, the Department of Buildings threw a wrench in the works by issuing numerous code violations in 2017. Then tragedy struck in the form of a horrific accident that claimed the life of a worker, bringing progress to a standstill for months. Despite these setbacks, the sleek tower kept rising. Apartments were selling quickly, thanks to their million-dollar views. But by 2018, cracks began to appear in the facade of 161 Maiden Lane. Literally, concrete started falling onto the street, a clear sign that construction delays were piling up and costs were spiraling out of control. The developers scrambled to secure extra funding, but the biggest shock came in 2019. In a bitter dispute between the contractor and the developer, a bombshell revelation emerged. 161 Maiden Lane wasn't quite standing straight. Measurements confirmed what some had suspected. The tower leaned an unexpected 8 centimeters or 3 inches to the north. Today, construction has come to a halt, and the building stands incomplete, with only about half of its windows and finishings installed. So it's a bit of a blemish on the New York skyline. Problems have troubled the project from the start, but it's the concerns surrounding the foundation that are drawing the most attention. Picture New York City's bedrock as a sturdy table, which is a perfect foundation for towering buildings. But unfortunately for 161 Maiden Lane, its location lacks this solid base. It's situated on a landfill that was created centuries ago when the East River shoreline was expanded. Instead of solid bedrock, engineers discovered layers of sand and unpredictable soil, a much less reliable support. This is where things get interesting. Usually, skyscrapers in Manhattan use fancy systems like deep-drilled piles or caissons, which are big columns driven way down until they reach solid bedrock. But at 161 Maiden Lane, bedrock lies between 132 to 166 feet down. Drilling to that depth is incredibly expensive and complex. So the engineers came up with a clever idea. They used powerful jets to push a special mixture deep into the sandy soil to a depth of 55 feet. This made the soil stronger, like a tough base for the building. This method definitely saved the developers around $6 million, making it more affordable. However, it introduced a whole new set of challenges. This type of foundation isn't as strong as being anchored to solid rock. And when you've got a really tall building like 161 Maiden Lane, which is super slim, it becomes a big issue. Lower Manhattan gets really strong winds from the East River. Because the building is so skinny, it sways a lot in the wind. But the actual 8 centimeters lean isn't primarily due to the foundation design. It's more likely because the building isn't sitting evenly on the ground. Picture this: the weight of the building pushes down on the soil underneath. But if the ground isn't all the same level, it can put more pressure on one side than the other. This uneven pressure makes the concrete mat tilt slightly, and that's what makes the entire tower lean in that direction. So, while the engineers were prepared for the challenges of the site and planned for increased swaying, the lean itself likely happened because of the unpredictable ground conditions. This unexpected tilt set off a chain reaction of problems. Even before the building was finished, with apartment prices soaring to upwards of $1 million each, Many units had already been sold, but everything took a dramatic turn when news of the building's lien became public. The original contractor and the developer quickly found themselves tangled in a bitter legal battle, each blaming the other for the problem. Later, it was discovered that the lien had been noticed much earlier and reportedly caused major problems in installing the sleek glass facade. There were even concerns that the tilt could pose risks to the building's long-term safety, with issues ranging from malfunctioning windows to potential water damage. Even though there were a lot of problems, the developer really wanted to finish the project. They said the building was still strong enough, but then work stopped for years. The only thing that happened after that was they changed the glass walls to fit the building's tilt. There are still lots of arguments going on in court. The developer still wants to finish the tower, but nobody knows when it will happen. The fancy apartments that everyone was excited about might stay empty for a long time because of all the arguing. Every day it costs more to leave the building unfinished, but nobody wants to deal with it. As reported by The Real Deal, almost all potential buyers have backed out of their agreements, leaving the future of this project uncertain. With hundreds of millions of dollars have already been sunk into the construction work, the question remains, can this leaning tower ever stand straight again? Meanwhile, it stands incomplete on the city's skyline. The story of 161 Maiden Lane offers a captivating glimpse into the complexities of urban construction. What do you think? The lien could have been prevented. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe.